Welcome back. I'm Amelie Wilson. From basic arithmetic to advanced calculus, some students need a little extra help with math. There's a new tutoring center that's opened up here in southwestern Connecticut, geared at helping students of all ages. David Lubner's director and owner of Mathnasium in Fairfield. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
You opened up in April, but this is not a new franchise, right?
Correct. The first franchise opened in California in 2004. And since then has been growing rapidly, mostly in the West and the South. Now over 250 centers in the States alone.
Great. So tell us about the premise. How does it work?
Okay, well, our first thing is that we come from a point of view of understanding math rather than drills and memorization. And we try and teach math. The Chief Instructional Officer has been doing this for 35 years in a way that children understand rather than the way that adults would think about it. For example, we typically would say, what is 3 times 5? At Mathnasium, we'd say, what is 3 5 times? Oh. Very subtle difference, but it actually has some meaning to the children.
Yeah, they can think and then,
and visualize 3 piles of 5 rather than just abstract numbers.
What ages do you start tutoring at?
Essentially, what I say is the youngest, we want them to be able to read to some extent and go to the bathroom by themselves. Beyond that, up until university or even older, anything to do with math we'll do.
Do you suggest people come in before they get behind?
Absolutely, yes. Our core group is probably grades 2 through 8. At that time when you're first learning the initial concepts and getting an understanding of math. Unfortunately, often something is missed in those early grades, and yet the kid is still pushed on to the next grade, and forever they'll be struggling with that one area that they didn't quite get.
So you have to start from the beginning.
Start from the beginning, yes.
And you can help with all areas of math, not just algebra or calculus. So you can
Correct.
Geometry.
What's actually great about being part of a huge system is if there's a question that I don't quite understand, I send an email to the Chief Instructional Officer. Not only does he send me back a reply, usually the same day, but he'll send 20 or 30 worksheets to help illustrate that.
Fantastic.
So, yes.
Wait, we're going to show some pictures real quickly while we talk. I'm sure the summer's probably been a busy time as well for you.
Correct. Summer is busy and hectic. Schedules are all over the place. Kids arrive at different times. But it's a perfect time to get a jump start for the next grade. And
gearing up for the school year, tell us about this. Do you suggest maybe a brush-up course before these kids head off to school?
Absolutely. There's a thing called the summer slide, where I forget the exact figures, but it's several weeks, 6 or 7 weeks worth of learning can be lost over summer. Just keeping the brain active helps prevent that. And over summer, we do jump starts for various grades or catch up on areas where you were having difficulty. And we also get a lot of kids that come for enrichment, that are actually bored at school, want to get further, love math, and come and actually start working on broadening their math experience as well as doing more advanced topics.
Tell us about your staff. Are they teachers, former educators?
Most of the staff actually are more undergrad students. It works very well actually because the kids relate very well to somebody closer to their own age group. The undergrads actually love coming there. One, it's a lot more fun than say working as a waiter or waitress. And it looks great on their resume.
Absolutely.
And of course they must go through training to learn the Mathnasium method of how to teach it and how to teach math to kids in a way that makes sense to them.
And it looked like some kids were doing projects together. Do you, how does that work?
Actually, no, that was game time.
Game time, oh good, so there is some fun.
Absolutely. We make sure that if typically a kid will come for about an hour, and we say in that hour at any time, I want to play a game. Usually it's a math game or a strategy game. Chess is very popular. And what we do is we find that by giving them 10 minutes to have some fun, we get more out of them in the remaining 50 minutes.
That only makes sense.
Yep.
Now, David, should people call ahead if they are going to need some, maybe you think your child's going to need some extra help or help with homework, call ahead?
Absolutely. Actually, the first thing that I would do when a child or student comes in is do a comprehensive assessment. Okay. And the assessment will show areas where they're struggling. It gets entered on the computer. That generates a learning plan. Okay, and the learning plan helps guide their thinking. so that they maybe have learned one method at school which isn't working for them. Well, this will show them a different method.
And each learning plan is different.
And each one customized to the individual child, yes.
Great, wonderful. We will send them your way. You're right on the Post Road in Fairfield.
Correct.
David,
yes.
Thank you so much, and best of luck with the Mathnasium. I wish they'd had one of these programs around when I was going through school, which is why I went into TV. No math here.